Hi guys, and we're back. We're into the last 4 games of the April International Challenge, so we're going to try and find our next opponent as quick as we can. We're going to pick our music and we're going to hop on. So we've got 4 games left. We're sitting just under 1800, so we need a couple of wins. That'll take us over 1800, and then we can see if we can do that in the next couple of games. And then we can see how far we can push into the 1800s and see how high we can get. We're not doing too bad. I'm not going to concentrate too much on the score at the minute, but thing is, what we got to do is just concentrate on each game at a time, and that's a key to these things. Not think too far ahead, not think about anything else other than the game that we're playing right then and there in the moment. So that's my advice to you guys for future ICs anyway. But I am definitely, like I've said in previous episodes here, we'll talk about this in a minute. So we have our next opponent, 17-19 rated player from Colombia, running a team of Tapu Koko, Garchomp, Arcanine, Celesteela, Porygon 2 and Gastrodon. So interesting team, very solid. Obviously got the Trick Room mode there with the Porygon 2, I'd imagine. Take advantage of that Gastrodon slow speed. Got the Tapu Koko, Garchomp as well. Just a really solidly put together team. What are we going to do here? Taunt is really nice for things like the P2, especially if there's Toxic coming up from the Gastrodon. We're going to need Arcanine for sure for that Celesteela. Although we could technically bring Snorlax here. Snorlax might not be a bad idea. Should we bring Snorlax to a game? Because we haven't brought it for a while. Snorlax isn't bad at all. I want Tapu Lele for sure for the taunt. Definitely want Arcanine. Do we need... Yeah, we need Garchomp. Celesteela is the one I'm thinking. It's nice to have a ground resist though in the team. That's always the thing, and the Leech Seed's going to be really nice. Yeah, I think we're going to have to bring Celesteela and go with the core 4. Unfortunately, not going to bring Snorlax to this match. And the other thing is, it's going to be really nice to kind of review all of these games as well and see what our losses are, and go over what we're struggling with and look at what we're bringing to every game and look at how we can change up our Pokemon, maybe, you know, choices to cover those bad matchups. Like I've said, we're struggling against those Tapu Bulu Trick Room teams. So that's something to definitely look at in the future. So we see my opponent lead off with the Celesteela and the Tapu Koko here. We will get the Psychic Terrain up and the Intimidate off with our Arcanine. Now, I wouldn't have thought my opponent is going to leave this Celesteela in against me here. We're probably going to see a Volt Switch come out from this Tapu Koko. But we don't want to lose the Arcanine too early in the game. Now we could double into the Celesteela, or we could just go for a Will-O-Wisp into the Celesteela and a Psychic into the Tapu Koko. Which might not be a bad idea, to be honest. If we just go for a Psychic, we're not burning the Shattered Psyche, and go for a Will-O-Wisp into that Celesteela, because it might protect, it might switch out. So we see the Tapu Koko withdraw here, Arcanine come in to get that Intimidate off onto my Arcanine. So we need this Will-O-Wisp to hit. We really need the Will-O-Wisp to hit here. So get your goggles on. No Protect coming out from that Celesteela, no switch. We do get the Psychic onto the Arcanine, proc the Berry, which is really nice. Come on Arc, hit this Will-O-Wisp, and we do hit. So this is nice. So we'll be able to survive the Heavy Slam potentially coming out into my Tapu Lele here. We do see the Heavy Slam. We are able to take that, which is super nice. Now, can go for a Shattered Psyche, and I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to go for a Shattered Psyche into the Arcanine slot, and I'm going to go for a Flare Blitz into that Celesteela slot. Get some damage off onto it. Because if that Arcanine switches out here... Oh no! Poison Arcanine outspeeds my Tapu Lele. Terrible. Okay, not ideal at all. But we will be able to get a Flare Blitz off into this Celestia. It's probably going to go for a Leech Seed onto ourselves. Oh, it's going to make things a bit more difficult for us to deal with. Now we've lost the Lele. Not brilliant at all. We just see a heavy slam though. So doubling up into that Lele slot, I'd imagine. But that Celestia is in Flare Blitz range this next turn. We'll bring in the Garchomp now. Because what's that Arcanine's health like? I'm going to go for a Rock Slide. And I'm going to go for a Flare Blitz into the Celesteela. What's my opponent got on the back though? Let's have a quick look. Could be the P2. Could be the Gastrodon. Could be the Garchomp though, to be honest as well. Right, let's just go for the Flare Blitz into that slot. We could double into the Arcanine, to be honest, with the Flare Blitz. No, I'm just going to go for it because there's every chance we might get a Rock Slide flinch as well. So there's the Arcanine withdrawing. In comes the Porygon 2. Okay. Celesteela's probably going to protect now. So you know my opponent's 4 Pokemon. You know what we've got to do. Celesteela just protects. Just fine. Porygon 2 avoids the attack. It's a bit slightly annoying, but not the worst thing in the world. So we'll probably see the Celesteela switch out now. I'm going to switch in my Celesteela for my Garchomp. And I'm going to go for a Snarl with my Arcanine. Reduce the attack power of that Porygon 2. We may see a Trick Room, we may not. Might just go for a Trick Room or a Return or an attack. Might just go for an Ice Beam into that Celesteela slot. So there's the Celesteela switch. Arcanine probably coming back in. Yeah. We do get the Snarl off. And an Ice Beam. As long as it doesn't freeze, we're alright. So no freeze. Right. Okay. What are we going to do now? I'm going to protect... It's obvious that I'm going to switch in my... I'm going to switch in the Garchomp for my Celesteela. And I'm going to go for a Snarl. Again, with my Arcanine. I want to really shut down this Porygon 2 if I can. There's the Flare Blitz into the Garchomp. Yeah. He's going to cover it with an Ice Beam as well. Get another Snarl off. We need it to hit. And a Return into the Arcanine. Proxa Berry. Right, what we're going to do is go for a Rock Slide, fish for those flinches, and a Will-O-Wisp into the Porygon 2. And we'll probably see an Ice Beam come out onto the Garchomp here. So we get the Rock Slide off. We do hit both targets, which is nice. Get the Will-O-Wisp. Oh, the Porygon 2 avoids, and he gets the Ice Beam off. Okay. Because of those snarls, you do manage to take it quite nicely here. Come on, Arcanine, get your goggles on. Right, what are we going to do here? Going to switch in Celesteela for my Garchomp. And could I just go for another? I could just go for a Snarl and a Rock Slide. Might be enough to actually pick up the KO onto that. But I need the Garchomp to be healthy for this Tapu Koko. That's the thing. Okay, let's switch out. Let's switch out Garchomp to the Celesteela and go for another Will-O-Wisp. No, let's go for a Flare Blitz into the Celesteela. We're probably going to see an Ice Beam into this Garchomp slot. There's the Flare Blitz. So we do get rid of the Celesteela, which is nice. At least we get rid of one thing. But we're probably going to see the Tapu Koko come in now. We're going to just see a return. No, an Ice Beam into that Celesteela slot. No freeze, which is great. Great news for us. I wonder if we're going to see the Arcanine come in now. That is the Tapu Koko. And what are we going to do? T-Bolt will take out Arcanine. And a T-Bolt will take out Celesteela. Let's think. Can we go for a Protect with Celesteela? I think we'll go for a Leech Seed into the Porygon 2, and I'm going to protect my Arcanine. Hopefully my opponent predicts the Protect on Celesteela, doesn't attack into it, goes for the Dazzling Gleam. Excellent. Okay. So, expecting the Garchomp switch in. Get the Leech Seed off. We do manage to hit that Porygon 2, which is nice. And we see a return into that Arcanine slot. Now we'll probably see the Porygon 2 switch out now, I would imagine. And maybe, I think my opponent has to keep going for the Dazzling Gleam in case that Garchomp is switched in. So we could potentially go for a Flare Blitz. And yeah, a Heavy Slam. Let's go for it. A Heavy Slam into the Koko and a Flare Blitz. Another Dazzling Gleam. Brilliant. Okay, this helps us out a lot. We are going to take a return though from this P2, but Flare Blitz is doing hardly anything damage-wise. The Heavy Slam does good damage, so we'll see a return from the P2. We'll pick up the KO onto the Arcanine. Right, we've got the Garchomp here. What can we do? What can we do? Rock Slide. We could Rock Slide. That will pick up the KO onto the Tapu Koko. And we could just Heavy Slam into that P2. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Rock slide. Hopefully we see another Dazzling Gleam come out. So, yeah, here comes the Arcanine. If we can pick up the KO on the Arcanine, that's going to be huge. We'll be able to beat the P2 one-on-one with our Celesteela. And protect from uphill. So you see the Rock Slide come out. Get rid of the Arcanine. Heavy Slam just going into the Protect to the P2. Okay. So now, we're just going to protect the Celesteela. It makes more sense for my opponent to go for the T-Bolt now into the Celesteela. But we may see a Twinkle Tackle come out. That's the only issue. I'm just going to go for an Earthquake and protect my Celesteela here. Because he knows he's got the Ice Beam to take the Garchomp. That's why I would imagine him going into the Celesteela here. He goes for the Protect. It does fail. We go for the Protect with the Celesteela. We're going to be able to take the Tapu Koko down. Garchomp should survive another Ice Beam. And we're going to be able to hopefully win out this game with our Celesteela. There's the Ice Beam. Ooh, we do go down to it. But my opponent has to rely on getting a freeze now. We should be able to get a Leech Seed off. It's going to be a bit of a stalwart, but we should be able to win out. We just need to avoid a freeze. So we get the Leech Seed off with the P2. Here's the Ice Beam. How much is it doing? A critical hit. You get the Leech Seed off. It's going to have to protect this next turn, that's the thing. Recover this next turn. Has to recover. Otherwise it goes down to a combination of Heavy Slam and Leech Seed. Get the Heavy Slam off. Yeah, and there's the recover. Guys, I've got like stuff in the oven here that I'm doing for my girlfriend. So I'm going to click in my moves. I'm going to quickly do it and come back. So I'm going to quickly do it because otherwise I'm going to get killed. So we're going to go for a Flamethrower because we want to try and get a burn on the P2. Still gotta go, and we get the burn, so that's massive. Okay, I've still gotta go and quickly do one thing, so I'm just gonna protect, and I'll be back in a minute, guys. Right. Let's go for. Sorry about this, guys. I do bear in mind as well that my time is running out. So it's not doing us any favour to me having to do this. Okay, what's going on? What's going on, guys? Sorry about this. So, right, super sorry about that. My girlfriend would have killed me otherwise if I'd missed that. So, chipping slowly this P2 down. It's getting very close. It's going to have to go for a cover now. So let's go for a flamethrower. It's not going to be enough, I wouldn't have thought. Maybe a crit though. No, we're just going to see a recover come out. So I just need to be clicking in my moves super quickly here. Just going to keep going for this flamethrower. And just a recover from the P2. Is the heavy slam doing more damage? I've not really been paying too much attention, and I should be. So let's just click in as quick as we can just to save ourselves as much time as possible. So we get the heavy slam off. Let's see how much this is doing. Yeah, it's doing way more than the flamethrower. We see the return from the P2. So we should be able to win this one out, really. It depends on my opponent's time at this point in the game. I wonder if it's going to be in heavy slam range now. I doubt it is. We need a critical hit, don't we? Get the heavy slam. Very close. Recover. All we need is like one critical hit. And for my opponent not to recover. He's going to keep recovering though at this point, yeah. So we just need to be absolutely hammering the buttons to try and get through these turns as quick as possible. Taking that blinking chicken out of the oven has not helped, because it's wasted loads of my time, but hopefully we can kind of make up for it. We go for the heavy slam again. Get the ice beam. Hopefully no freeze. Oh, and there's a freeze. Not great at all. We need to thaw out. Oh, and you know what? We may have been able to take it down this turn. If we can thaw out, it'll be great. Thawed out. Can the heavy slam pick up the KO? Come on. Oh, just misses out on the recover. Oh. At least we thawed out though. That's the main thing. But we are running out of heavy slams. That's the other thing. I wish I knew how much time my opponent had left. Just need a crit. Come on. One critical hit. Recover. Yeah. Should maybe just conserve our heavy slams for a little bit. And go for flamethrowers instead. This is super boring for you guys. I do appreciate that. but I don't want to just throw the match. Just going to protect stall a bit. Just see a recover from the P2. I wonder how many moves it's got left. If we can kind of PP stall it as well, that's the other thing. So thickness about an average 3 seconds per turn. I might speed this up when I do it, when I upload it, because this, yeah, I'll probably speed it up so we get to the end of it, so you guys don't have to sit through this. Let's go for a flamethrower now. Crit! Come on, let's go crit! No. And there's a recover. So, that was my girlfriend. Come to check if I'd taken the stuff out of the oven, which I have. So it's all good. It's all good. This is super boring. But we're both going to play it out because that's just the thing to do, to be honest. Neither of us want to lose. We're just going to be smashing our time. We're just going to see the recover. But he's going to run out of PP before he runs out of time, I imagine. Maybe not. Surprised we haven't had like any critical hits at all so far. Is he in? Is he going to be in? Heavy slam range? I doubt it. Let's go for a heavy slam anyway. Is it going to be enough? Come on. Be enough. Crit or something. Oh, it's so close to a crit. Oh. Go for another heavy slam. You may get lucky with a crit. We've got a crit at some point, right? That's the thing. No. But we're forcing him to burn his recovers. And he can't recover forever. That's the thing. Although we've got to kind of preserve our attacks. Let's go for a flamethrower this turn. Here's the ice beam. Ah, there's the freeze again. So we've got to kind of hope that we thaw out. Pretty sharpish. And you see this turn, that would have been enough for heavy slam. It's every time we kind of get really close to being able to pick up the KO. So go for the heavy slam again. If we can get it off. Frozen solid though. I wonder if the burn and the leech seed is going to be enough just to pick up the KO here though. It probably is, you know. Yeah, it definitely is. We did it. We did it. Oh my god. What a slog. Big shout out to my opponent there, but we managed to get through it. Celesteela being a massive boss there. So we will take a win and move on to game 43. We've got 3 games left. I might take a quick break, guys, because that was such a slog. So I'm going to do that, and then we'll come back and we'll finish up with our last 3 games. I keep saying this every time, but we've had massive slogs every game that we've had, so I'm going to take a quick break. That was a massive slog, and we will be back in a jiffy. So until then, guys, see you in a second. Bye bye.